everybody, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com. It has been a while since I made a video. I think it's been over a week and I've never gone that long without making a video for you guys. But I have been so swamped with Christmas that it is crazy trying to spend the holidays with my family. We went to a Christmas play a couple of weeks ago for my husband's work. And preparing Christmas gifts. I made all my cards over the weekend, so I've been super busy with that. But I am going to try to make a video every day this week for you guys since I have not made one in so long. And I've got some super cute, I just wish I could show you my craft room, but I can't because I have gifts that I've made for customers and families and things like that, just handmade gifts. So I can't really share that with you guys. Can't really show you very much. So we will get started. I don't want to talk through the whole video. I'm going to show you one of the items that I made. And like I said, I'm going to be sending this to some very special people. So this is what I created. And inside of it, there is a belly band here. And inside of it, when they open it up, there is a magnificent Dove chocolate candy bar. So we will get, I'm not going to put the belly band back on because I want to, this is the only candy bar I have left. And this is one that I've got to send to somebody. So we'll use this candy bar. Okay, sorry about that. I turned it off because it looked like to me the camera was slipping down and I didn't want it to be bothersome for you guys if it was slowly descending downwards. So I've stopped it twice to make sure it wasn't moving. So hopefully everything's okay and you guys can see. So anyway, this is what we're going to make. And I will go over the supplies. I'm using Dapper Denim. And this piece of cardstock here is cut at 7.5 by 7.5. And the belly band is from the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. And I cut this at 1 inch by 7 3/4. And then you're going to need a scrap piece of Whisper White to do our sentiment. And then I used the stitched oval framelits. This is the second largest one that I used that we're going to stamp the snowman on. But you could just use your oval framelits if that's what you wanted to do. You're going to need the scoreboard for the envelope scoreboard. I am obsessed with this thing. I have made so many cute gifts with this past weekend. You guys need to get this. It has its own little scoring tool and it is just magnificent. So we're going to need, I can never think of this, the decorative label punch maybe. But anyway, we're going to need this punch for our sentiment. I'll have all the supplies on my blog like I always do for you guys. The Whisper White craft ink. You're going to need basic black. And then we're going to use the Christmas Pines. We're going to use the snowflakes there. You're going to need, you can use Fast Fuse, but I like to use the Scorin tape, or the Terran tape, so that's what I'm going to use. And then the snowman comes from the Jar of Cheer stamp set right there. And then there was one, oh, and then I have a surprise for you guys. January 4th, when the new Occasions and Celebrations catalog comes out, there are watercolor pencils. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with these things. I just used them last night to color the snowman. And look at all these magnificent colors you get. I have 3 of them out because those are the 3 that I'm going to use for the snowman. I have the Real Red. I think the other one is the Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and Pumpkin Pie. These are the 3 that I'm going to use. But you can see, I mean, when I'm going to try to zoom in when I use them so you guys can just see the difference it makes. And I used a blender pen with them. You don't have to, but I chose to. But they are magnificent. So the envelope punch board is very easy to use. You have to know the size of whatever it is you're wanting to fit into the envelope. So in my case, the candy bar, me and my husband measured it the best we could, and it was 3 by 5.5. So if you look down here, let me zoom in, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has all these numbers. So 3 by 5, what did I say, 3 by 5.5? 3 by 5.5 it said 7/8 and 7/8 was the paper size, but I wanted a little bit extra room, so we made it 3 by 6. So my paper, like I said, Dapper Denim, is 7.5 by 7.5, and then it tells me my score lines need to be 2 5/8. So let me back out again. You guys can see. Okay, I think maybe just a little bit more. We'll zoom in. Okay, so what you want to do, and it tells you right here, this is your score guide, this is your score line right there, okay? So we're going to line the first one up, and then it's got the marks up here. So I'm going to line my first corner up right here at 2 5/8. Let me bring this in. So right there, 2 5/8. And I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to score. And then I'm going to move it over to the 1/8, 3 1/8 mark. You're going to punch, and you're going to score. You're going to rotate it 180 degrees, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to punch, oops, not go off the score mark, our score line, and then move it over to 1 5/8, punch, and score. Then the next thing you do is the score lines that you just made, you line them up with this notch. It doesn't matter where you're at here. Now we're looking at lining this up with our score marks we just made. So you punch, score, line up the next one, you punch, you score. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it, line up our score mark there, punch, score, line it up again, and it doesn't matter if you score punch first. Okay, so now we have everything made. I'm going to put this back in here. Then here has the reverse punch. So we're going to take and put each end of the long way in there. And then it doesn't matter about these because of these ends, because I'll show you here what we're going to do with those. So what I did, it's really late at night. I have my pajamas on. You guys have probably seen my frosty arms, but I just got off work and I had to make a video for you guys. So what I'm going to do is the 2-inch mark. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, it's not going to show the whole thing. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my first score line that's right here, and I'm lining it up. This is the 2-inch mark right here on my Stampin' trimmer. So I'm going to line that first score mark up. I'm just going to cut that flap off there, flip it, do the same thing, line the first score mark up with my 2-inch mark on my Stampin' trimmer, and we're just going to get rid of those flaps. Okay, let me grab my bone folder. Now the first thing I want to do is stamp before I score, because it's just going to make it easier with the paper being flat. Gotta grab a scrap piece of paper because I don't want to get it on my board. We'll grab the snowflakes. And we'll just put them on this block because my other block is tied up right now with something on it. Okay, so we're just going to ink it up, and then we're just going to start stamping all over the box. Okay, now I have some that I already did because the craft ink takes a while to dry. If I would touch this right now, it would smear. So I'm just going to show you one that I had already that I've did last night. So this is all stamped, everything's dry. Now we're just going to start folding over on our score lines and giving it a good score. We're going to go all the way around think it's called burnish. I can never remember. Burnish, vanish. I don't know what it's called. I think it's burnish. The score lines. Like so. Okay. Then you're going to have these little squares on each end, and you're just going to go in with your snips, go up to the score line, and we're just going to cut those away. Just go to the score line, cut those away, cut that away, and cut that away. And then you can see too on mine, guys, that what I decided to do is after I did the 2-inch, I went ahead and put it back in the envelope punch and rounded my corners there. So I'm going to lay this out of the way because we need to stamp our snowman. So let me bring this back in. We'll grab the basic black, our oval, and our snowman. We're just going to ink him up really well, and then we're just going to stamp that right in the center. Okay, and then we'll just lay that to the side because while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the sentiment. And this sentiment comes from the Candy Cane Lane. I don't think I grabbed that stamp set. So let me grab that just to show you guys. I just had it and was using it a few minutes ago. So the sentiment comes from that, and it's the one that says Christmas treats for you. So it's 3 stamp sets. And then we're just going to stamp this right there in the center. We'll grab our punch and just line that up. And pop it out, okay? We'll get that stuff out of our way. Now comes the fun part. Bring in all of our pencils, and the snow is what I want you guys to really see. So let me zoom in on that. And what I did, I didn't do anything too fancy. I mean, I just I tried not to get down in the stitching area with the colored pencil, but I didn't care so much when I used the blender pen. So I just and I know it looks bad right now, but trust me, this is how I did it on all of them, and it blends in. And then on the scarf, let me make sure you guys can see. Forgot that I zoomed you in so close. So on the scarf, I just did every other one, because we're going to go back in with it with the blender pen too. Then we're going to use the Real Red for the hat. Make sure you guys can still see. I tried watercoloring it, but because I don't have I didn't use watercolor paper, it kind of started doing the peeling and didn't look so good. It was kind of my fault because I kind of put too much water on it, but I thought, you know what, I have a blender pen, and I watched the video from Stampin' Up, and that's what I decided to use. We're going to color the orange, or his nose orange. Okay, and then I want to show you. You guys know what blender pens, you need to have a blender pen so you can clear it out, and then just watch, and make sure you guys can see, just watch how that changes the look of this snow. I mean, isn't that beautiful? And it just blends it right in. You can't see my ugly little circly marks that I just did. I was just blown away when I used these last night. I was like, holy smokes. I hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with one. And then I'm just swirling to clean all the blue off. And then I'm going to go back in on the hat. But I hope Stampin' Up! Does them in every color that we have, because I'm in love. I didn't do his nose because the nose is just a small part, and I mean, we can do it just to see if it makes a difference, but I'm fine with it not. And another trick is, you know, you guys wait for the black to dry because of the video. You know, I have to hurry up and do everything, so that's just my little bit of information there for you. So let me steal this candy bar out so I can demonstrate it better. And I want to move, oh, I gotta use that, don't I? Okay, so what I did was, you know, it doesn't really matter. You decide the top, the bottom, whatever. They're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. So I opened my flaps up. And like I said, you can use fast fuse, but the tear and tape is just, I need to back out, don't I? Sorry about that. Okay, I think that's good. So, like I said, you could use fast fuse, but the tear and tape, I think, is just as good. So, flip it over, and you can put the tape there on that corner, and the tape there on that corner, because what we want to do is when we close this, we want it to adhere like that, okay? So I did that on the outside. Then on the inside, I just kind of went from there to there, and the same on this side, kind of getting in that corner there a little bit up to there. And then it really helps if you take your bone folder and hold that down and kind of press it down. And if you can't get it with your nails, I used my scissors to kind of help me, and I'll show you what I mean, because just be careful. I have cut myself with my scissors before. They're very sharp, but once you get it peeling up, it just comes right up, or comes right off, I mean. Okay. Then we're going to do this side. And if you guys watch my videos this week, you'll see that I'm going to use the gift bag punch board as well. So what's very important is you want it squared. So you're wanting to create like that. You're wanting to create that nice square there. So just fold it up like that, and then put your finger inside the box, and that kind of helps get the tape. And then I just kind of moved that one in, try not to let them touch, and then square up that corner. Do the same thing. You just want to be careful too that you're not getting the tape is not going to be on the candy bar. I can feel it a little bit there. I kind of went just a little bit too high, so I wouldn't, you know, you can kind of eyeball it and make sure that you don't go past those marks, and then you should be okay. And then your candy bar, it is a tight fit. I glued, or I'm sorry, I stapled, didn't do either of those. I used tape, Scotch tape. I did not harm the candy bar, to put the side flaps down just to make it fit better. And like I said, as you can see, it is a very snug fit, but it does fit, okay? Then you only want to put, and again, you can use snail, but I also for this chose to use the tear and tape just because it's very dependable. It's a strong adhesive. Don't get any like I just did, and I can't get it off my table. Don't get any, don't let it hang out over the sides. You want to flip that over and trim it off. And you only want to put this on one side because you do not want it to stick to the box. So what I did was, this is the side that I want up. So the side has got, right there has got the tear and tape. So we're going to put this right there. We're going to wrap this around. And you want it snug, but you at the same time want them to be able to not struggle with. So that's kind of good, like that, okay? The back of my box, when I'm showing you guys, I just realized that I didn't cut the 2 inches off. So this is what the back of it will look like when you cut those 2 inches off. I knew when I folded mine, when I closed it, it didn't look right. So this has still got the 2 inches. We would cut, you know, like about that much off there, like that one is. Sorry about that. I totally forgot when I put that other piece over there to dry. So then what I did was you take 2 dimensionals because you don't want your snowman, you don't want to put him directly on the cardstock, the Dapper Denim, because we want this belly band to be able to slide. So I just put 2 dimensionals right there on the belly band. And then that's how we put our snowman on. And then you can slide them up just a little bit. You can put them wherever you want. Now I didn't use dimensionals for the sentiment. I used just snail, but you could pop it up if you choose to. And then we just center that like so. And there you go. A cute, really quick Christmas present. Co-workers, you know, friends, the postman, the teller at the bank, the guy that carries your groceries out, if they still do that in your community. Just cute little gifts. And you could cut this down to size. You could just use the envelope punch board if you want to do Hershey candy bars and make it just a little bit different. You could cut that down and totally do that. So thanks so much for stopping by, guys. Make sure you visit back this week because I'm going to try my best to post a video a day. Thank you.